tell you, it's been 9 months. 9 months since I started as a registered nurse. I cannot believe it's been a whole year since I've graduated nursing school. I really couldn't be happier with where I am right now. Sometimes working as a nurse can be very messy and stressful. Hello everyone, my name is Kristen and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am a newborn registered nurse. I work on the labor and delivery unit, and I basically am the nursery nurse that works with all the fresh newborn healthy babies. I figured I would go ahead today and talk about how I reached my 9-month milestone as a newborn registered nurse. So if you are interested, just go ahead and keep watching. Yes, y'all, it has been 1 year since I've graduated nursing school. I just can't even tell you how quickly time has just flown by. I remember I applied to speak at a certain part in graduation. I had to put like a speech together.
May God bless you on your journey and allow you to be the light for the lives you touch in your day-to-day life.
And I spoke over Zoom this cute little speech that my family helped me write. I just can't even put into words how crazy this whole year has been.
What would you say to younger self?
I don't really know what to think right now.
I've done lots and lots of just studying for work and putting in extra time to learn all the things I've needed to, and I've worked overtime to make more money and to help out the unit as well.
Don't play that way. I'm always gonna say
I decided to pick up some overtime and make you.
My extra 12-hour shift is done, and I've spent lots of time traveling and making sure I'm keeping up with me and my mental health as well. Hello?
Hurt me at the top of Moral Rock. Isn't it so beautiful?
3 12-hour shifts have been a good thing for me because I've been able to just make extra time to travel and do the things that I love. Today, I just wanted to sit down and just tell y'all how my life has been these past 9 months as a new grad nurse and how it feels, honestly, to have hit my 1-year mark after nursing school graduation. So I am going to break up the video in a few different segments if you want to skip around, but I am going to just start on reflecting on how this year has gone. You know, I graduated, I was given the highest award at my nursing school, and that was the Dean's Gold Medallion. It was just crazy to be honored at my nursing school and to have gone from undergrad where I didn't talk to any of my professors. I kind of just breezed through the classes. Like, I didn't really put time and energy into learning the material, to then coming out of nursing school with a higher GPA from undergrad and really putting the time and energy in and just making sure that I put myself first and I learned what I needed to so I could pass this NCLEX exam. Last year when I was taking the NCLEX, if you watched my NCLEX live result video, you would know that I had a lot of test anxiety, and you know, I studied for the NCLEX. I started really around 6 months before I graduated. I just slowly started reviewing content, and then, you know, when I graduated, I had about 3 or so months, and then I really cracked down with 2 months left, and I started studying every single day. I put in a lot of effort and hard work into studying for this NCLEX exam, but I had a lot going on in my personal life, and if you've been watching my vlogs, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. I ended up having to move out of my house. I had multiple job offers. I felt like so pressured that I had to do well on the NCLEX, and when NCLEX time came, even after I took the NCLEX, my test anxiety was at an all-time high that my NCLEX result vlog, I did cry, and like I just felt so overwhelmed when I saw my license number that I just knew that I had worked so hard. It was like everything that I had worked for, all the times that I failed. I just feel like I felt all my failures finally pay off whenever I saw that pass. That's kind of a recap of all that happened up until NCLEX. I ended up starting my newborn transition nursery job Basically, I am a newborn nurse in labor and delivery, and I'm the baby catcher. I assign the APGARs. I take care of baby for the first couple hours unless they stay on labor and delivery because mama needs to be monitored more closely. That's what I do. I work with healthy babies. It almost feels like a clinic job where it's a very quick turnaround rate. I don't really take care of these babies long term like you would in the NICU, and I absolutely love working with the healthy babies. I thought for the longest time I wanted to work with the sick babies, and here I am enjoying working with the healthy newborns that come out, and I really couldn't be happier with where I am right now. My overall thoughts and feelings on just reflecting back on what this year from graduating nursing school and what my 9 months has given me. I've learned so much. Like, I keep telling myself, you know, my job, I work with healthy babies, but even then, I've learned so much at my job, and I am just so thankful. I recently did my very first blood culture. It took me about 8 months to do that. It's okay. Once I switched to day shift, I started doing things on days I've never done on nights. I had to learn how to do my own blood cultures, which I had only seen on nights done twice before, and that was like orientation time. So it had been so long since I've seen an IV setup and even just a blood draw centrally on a baby, which, you know, babies' little hands are like that big. So trying to start an IV right here, you got to be very careful because it's very small and you can blow a vein so easily. But I did my very first blood culture, and I've done tons of labs on day shift, things that I've never done on night shift before. I've done so many billies since I've moved to day shift. I think the reason why I've done a lot more on days is because we have all types of providers like physicians, nurse practitioners, residents on day shift. So they're constantly always ordering things for babies. The pace is a lot quicker as well. I've had to learn how to time manage and figure out what's important, what needs to be done first. You know, I feel like I've been keeping up and doing a pretty good job. A lot of my day shift coworkers have even said, they're like, wow, you've been really keeping up. Like, you're with the big dogs now. It just feels good to be at a place where I might not be doing a ton of things, especially when it comes to being a nurse, but at the same time, like, I feel like I'm starting to master my job, feel more confident with my skills. And if you think about it, my residency is going to be done by the end of July, and it's just gonna fly by in the blink of an eye. Now, when it comes to my residency program, we are all split off into little small groups, and my main residency program, I think, has around 70 new grads in it. Now, the new grads in my program are from all different units, so it's not specialized in a way where my program is teaching you content in a specific specialty. Once a month, I go to an online Teams meeting, and we basically talk about things on how to better yourself as a new grad. So we've started with finances, nutrition, we've talked about shift work, we've talked about ethics, we've talked about so many other things like retirement savings. So things to make you a well-balanced new grad nurse in both your personal life and your work life. It was a little difficult at first to stay awake because I was a night shift worker working on a day shift schedule for my new grad residency, but now that I've switched to days, I've listened to the past 2 residency meetings, and it has been super helpful, and I feel like I've gotten more out of it than I have in the past. My small groups, we meet up with a preceptor, and basically we talk about pows and wows, the good things that have happened that month, and then the bad things that have happened that month. And it's just crazy to hear some of these stories that happen. Sometimes I feel like I'm so secluded in my one unit that I don't know what's going on in the hospital. I do enjoy the small groups because I learn so much from other nurses, and it also really helps me appreciate the job that I have now because I don't have to deal with some of the things that some of these other new grads have to deal with. We also have to do an evidence-based practice project, and that's what we've been working on the last 2 months. Me and my group, we are part of the Women's and Children. We're actually looking at how skin to skin can affect a newborn's temperature. It's pretty cool to see the results when everything slowly started coming together. So we submitted our project, and we were actually just given back our projects last week to see what revisions we needed to make, and then next month in June we present them, and then I have one more residency meeting after that, and that's graduation in July. Day shift has been an amazing change for me. I waited 8 months for day shift. Now let me tell you, if you are a night owl, disregard basically everything I'm going to say about night shift, but I am a day person. I like to wake up at 6, 7 in the morning and be in bed by 9 o'clock at night. I've always been that way growing up. I've never liked to stay up late. I've pulled maybe 4 all-nighters my whole entire college career because I'm just not that kind of person. When I had to do night shift, it changed my health in a negative way. I just don't ever see myself going back to night shift. I want to stick on days for a while. I'm not gonna lie, the day shift coworkers have treated me a lot better than some of the night shift coworkers. I have really found comfort in talking to a few of the day shift coworkers. As much as I love the coworkers that I got really close to on nights, every day I go home, I make sure to give every single one of them a hug whenever I can. I do miss them so much, but I also know that moving to days was just better for me. I can't even tell you how much better I feel working with some of the people that I do now than I did before. I am going to do a whole separate video on how I deal with like nurse bullying and stuff like that. But I do just want to say that I did notice a change of when it was found out that I was moving to day shift. So my name was the talk of the town, and some things were said that I had never said, making it seem like I didn't really want day shift at all. You know, I had been talking to my manager for a while about me moving to that shift because of how sick I had been. So it was just a little bit of a mess. And I can tell you that since I have moved to days, I haven't had to deal with any of that. And although there will always be people that like to stir the pot and start drama, I can tell you that it has been a lot more calm, and I still got a little bit of backlash even when I moved to day shift. You know, I take the day as it comes and I just try to appreciate the good days that I have over the bad. One thing I can say since moving shifts, day shift orders a lot of food. Like, I'm telling you, every day, every shift I work, they're like, oh, what are you ordering today? What are you ordering? They have forgotten me a couple times in ordering food, or like asking if I've wanted to order food. And I don't take things personally. And one of the people that I work with has apologized for it. Future plan wise, I definitely feel like I will be at my job for as long as I can. I've had lots of comments on my YouTube channel asking me about like travel nursing, like you'll make more money travel nursing, think about travel nursing. I've thought about it. I just spent 2.5 years outside of Florida. I went to Cleveland and then Chicago. I did a lot of traveling myself while I was living up north, so that was kind of my few years to travel. Will I ever think about traveling in the future? Yeah, and I will consider it. But right now, I'm perfectly happy being at home, working the job that I have, even though I don't make a ton of money. And, you know, I am enjoying just being with my sister and, you know, making memories with her and spending time on my own and just, you know, at my job. I know I am taking a preceptorship class at work. I've already had a few nursing students shadow me for a day, and it has been the most fun. I don't know if y'all remember, but in nursing school, all of the new grad nurses were the ones that talked to me the most. They were the ones that taught me the most. They were the ones that had the most to say. And that is how I feel. Whenever I'm with a nursing student, I'm like, I hope I'm not talking too much. But, you know, I remember when I was in nursing school, the new grad nurses were the ones that were there and they told me everything that they could think of. When it comes to my personal life, I have been doing so much better. I'm still going to therapy. I absolutely love my therapist. She also has an autoimmune condition, so I almost feel like she's been able to give me suggestions. It's just nice to talk to somebody who understands what you're going through and who's not afraid to give like her side of things. I talk about my work stress. I talk about my personal life. I talk about like the incident that happened last year and my test anxiety. You know, it has been helpful to just talk about the stress that I go through on a day-to-day basis to help reduce it. You know, looking at this past year of just after graduating nursing school, I wouldn't think that I would be where I am today, because let me tell you, I had a plan last year and it has completely changed. Night shift changed my life, and I learned a lot about myself on night shift. I learned that my body just can't handle night shift. I learned that I took a whole other job position that I didn't think I was originally gonna do, and here I am. So if you ever feel like you have a plan, just make sure it's not set in stone, because sometimes life can take you in ways that you had no idea it would take you. Overall, I just have to say, I absolutely love my job. Every job has its ups and downs. Everyone that you work with, you have to learn how to get along in a professional environment. I hope you enjoyed this sit-down chat with me when it comes to my 9-month RN update. and how life has been since I've graduated nursing school. Honestly, it has been just a whirlwind of a time. Always feel free to leave your comments and any recommendations that you have down below. I try to read every single one of them and respond, and you know I am always just here to wish you luck on your nursing journey.